Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome back to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach.
And I'm Pepper.
And for today's Stone Timber video, we're doing a spotlight of Wingspan. Probably their most popular game.
Yes.
But they've got a couple big time hitters.
Yeah, I would say it's probably going to be their most popular game, but I probably would have said that for Viticulture, and I would have said that for Scythe, and of course, here comes Wingspan.
Right, yeah.
To top them both.
It's really crazy, especially this theme compared to like a Scythe or Viticulture. Viticulture kind of fits with a farming theme, which is in a lot of Euros. And Scythe is kind of, it has a it almost seems like a war combat theme. It doesn't, not really that much in the gameplay itself, but it's kind of got one of those themes that's used as well. And at the time, I feel like nature themes weren't as big when Wingspan first came out, so it's shocking that would be one. I mean, if you've played it, it's definitely a great game, but it's still shocking based on the theme that it would become their most popular. Possibly, we'll have to see over time if it stays their most popular or if they can get something to dethrone it. But it's going to take quite the game to dethrone it.
Quite a bit. But yeah, this is the 8th game released, which is a little over halfway through, which is crazy that we've kind of been around playing Stonemaier Games for about half of the games they've released, which it doesn't feel like. It feels like they've been around a lot longer than we've been playing their games, but
it's crazy. Being their 8th out of currently 13 seems really crazy because it seems like it was not that long ago that it was released, and it feels like they had a lot more games than that, but still, it was one that I had when I wanted. I think we were into the gaming when it first kind of came out, and it was one that I had heard a lot of great things about, a lot of raving about it, but it was kind of, I think, unexpected to Stonemaier 2 that it was going to be so popular because it was pretty hard to get for a while. I think they just kept having to reprint to do more printings of it, which is good, but it was obviously hard to keep up with the demand then. So it was hard to get, but then, because I was like, do you get it off of eBay or something, or whatever, with it kind of the price jacked up, I'm sure. But then it was kind of the first time in this area that I went to the Dork Den, which is a friendly local game store. And it was the first time I had been in there. And I actually, right when we walked in, Wingspan was sitting there. And it was, I think it was like $60, which is, I thought was like amazing considering kind of, I think at the time it was probably going for
like over 100 on like Amazon,
almost twice that on Amazon or eBay, wherever you were trying to buy it, because it was very hard to get at the time. So I was like, wow, I gotta get that right away. So that gave me a first great impression of the store, and also got the game that I at that point had been kind of dying to play for probably several months, and then I think we played it that day several times. You
brought it over and you said, "Oh, I got a surprise," and you kind of like said we're gonna go golfing, and you kind of set a bag down by the door, and I'm like, he got Wingspan, didn't he? I just knew instantly because obviously it was quite hyped. You had hyped it up quite a bit, so when you said you had a surprise, I'm like, he found it, didn't he?
And yes, I did.
So the content that we will be having for Wingspan. First off, today we'll have a playthrough of it, a 2-player playthrough between us. And the next day we will have our list of favorite bird cards from the game, which there are quite a few now, and that includes both of these expansions.
Right.
So a lot to choose from, hundreds.
Exactly. And eventually we'll probably have to redo that list, I'm guessing, because we already know there is another expansion for sure.
Asia.
Coming, we're hoping by the end of this year, it sounds like, but kind of all depends on the shipping stuff. Asia is coming. along with the nesting box.
Yes,
So,
looking forward to that.
yes.
And speaking of the expansions, we're going to have a video talking about the expansions and kind of like a review comparison and which we prefer for that. That'll be all three of us, and then finally we will have a chippy review of Wingspan, which has been one of our most played games probably ever. So it'll be good to get our thoughts out there. Which, if you've seen our top 50 videos, you probably know a little bit of our thoughts on it, but now you can get it in chippy review form.
Yes. But yeah, that's got a decent amount of content on this one versus others, because if you've kind of watched the first half of these, it's been some games we haven't played quite as much, but like you said, this one's one of our most played, and we've actually gotten back to just playing a lot of the base game in preparation for the World Series of Board Gaming, so it's actually in that as well, and we're both going to attempt to win
the ring.
Right.
Ring
there are
event
some
of Wingspan.
right. There are some great Wingspan players out there, so I don't know that we have a chance. I don't think we've played it quite that much, because I know I've seen people that have played it like hundreds or thousands of times, and that's like, that's impressive, because it's not a long game, but it would take definitely some time to play any game that many times.
For sure.
But yeah, so we'll have to let you know how that goes too. Probably not well. We knocked out the first round, but we'll give it our best effort. So yeah, we've just been playing the base game for that these last few times. So I'm hoping kind of after that, I'm hoping the expansion comes out, and then we can put it all back in there
into that.
and try them all. So
Yeah.
excited for that.
Yep.
But yeah, hopefully you're excited for some of those videos, and looking forward to checking them out maybe. But yeah, otherwise we hope to see you on those videos, and as always, don't forget to
Keep on nibbling.
on our content, and those worms, and fish, and rat, and wheat,
And berries. I'm luckily gonna forget berries.